Welcome back to Global Dialogue Studio, the podcast where we help you improve your English through real, meaningful conversations. I'm your host, Alex Carter, and today we're diving into a topic that can transform the way you speak English: learning to think in English. Many learners translate everything in their head, from their native language into English, and that slows down fluency. Today's episode is designed to help you break that habit. And joining us is today's guest, Daniel Rivera. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hey, Alex, thank you for having me. I'm excited about today's topic because I've seen so many people struggle with translation. Once they learn to think directly in English, everything becomes easier: speaking, listening, understanding accents, even writing.
Absolutely. And thinking in English can be a big step forward. Before we go deeper, Daniel, could you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Of course. I'm Daniel Rivera, a communication coach originally from Argentina but now living in Toronto, Canada. I help international students and professionals improve their English communication skills so they can feel confident in real conversations.
Perfect. That means today's topic is right up your alley. Let's start with the big question. Why is thinking in English so important?
Thinking in English is important because translation creates a delay. When you translate, your brain works twice. First understanding the idea in your language, then trying to express it in English. But when you think in English, communication becomes natural and automatic, like a reflex.
Exactly. And many learners don't realize that native speakers do not translate. They think directly in English. So today, we'll explore how listeners can train their brain to do the same.
Right. And I want to say something to listeners. Thinking in English doesn't mean forgetting your native language. It just means building a separate space in your mind where English can flow freely.
That's an excellent point. Let's talk about the first step in this process: simple thinking. Many learners try to think in complex sentences. But actually, thinking in English starts with very small ideas.
Yes. For example, when you wake up, think, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I need coffee. Short, simple, natural English sentences. No translation.
Exactly. Small thoughts help you warm up your brain, just like stretching before exercise.
And as you get comfortable, you can move to slightly longer sentences. For example, today I need to finish my work early. I'm planning to meet a friend later.
This brings us to another powerful tip. Name everything around you in English. When you look around your room, think window, table, pillow, headphones.
That's right. And don't just name objects, describe them. The window is open. My phone is charging. The room is quiet today. When you do that daily, your brain slowly switches to English mode.
Let's give listeners a mini practice session. I'll guide them through thinking in English for a moment. Listeners, wherever you are, at home, outside, walking, look around and think of 3 objects in English. I'll give you 5 seconds. Good. Now, describe one of those objects using a simple sentence. For example, the chair is comfortable. Take a moment and create your sentence. Perfect. That's how thinking in English starts.
That was great, Alex. You know another problem learners face? They want to translate phrases that do not translate literally. English has many expressions that sound strange when translated word by word.
Exactly. Let's give some examples.
I'm feeling under the weather. Right pointing arrow, it means, I'm a bit sick. Break the ice. Right pointing arrow, start a conversation. It's not a big deal. Right pointing arrow, it's not a problem.
And one more. Let's call it a day. Let's stop working.
These expressions help learners think in English because they teach you how native speakers think about situations.
Daniel, I want to address a myth. Some learners think they need to be advanced to think in English. Is that true?
Not at all. You can start thinking in English even as a beginner. The key is not complexity, it's consistency. 1 minute a day is better than 0 minutes a day.
Let's talk about immersion, even if you live in a non-English speaking country.
Absolutely. Immersion isn't about location. It's about habits. Set your phone to English, watch English YouTube channels, listen to English podcasts like this one, read English posts online.
I have a question for you, Daniel. What is the biggest obstacle learners face when trying to think in English?
Honestly, fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding strange. Fear of speaking slowly.
True. Fear stops progress.
But thinking in English is a private activity. Nobody hears you. Nobody judges you. It's the safest place to make mistakes.
I love that. Let's move to another practical tip. Creating mental stories.
Yes, this is one of my favorites. When you walk outside, imagine mini stories in your head. For example, the man in the blue jacket looks like he's going to work. The woman with the dog seems happy today. These small stories push your brain to think in English.
And don't worry about grammar. The goal is fluency of thought, not perfection.
Right, fluent thinking leads to fluent speaking.
Let's switch gears to listening. How does listening help with thinking in English?
Listening fills your brain with English patterns. Over time, your brain copies these patterns and starts using them naturally. You begin forming sentences like a native speaker because you've heard them many times.
Exactly. That's why long-form listening, like this 1,000-second podcast, is so helpful.
Yes, your brain absorbs rhythm, tone, pauses, and natural expressions.
Let's give listeners more examples of daily thoughts they can practice.
I need to buy groceries later. The weather is really nice today. I'm feeling a little tired but motivated. I should drink more water.
And here are some advanced thoughts. I wonder how long it will take me to finish my project. Maybe I should try a new hobby this weekend. I'm curious about learning something new.
These thoughts train your brain to think in English without effort.
Before we end, Daniel, what is your number one tip to help people think in English?
My number one tip is, talk to yourself, in English, out loud or silently. Narrate your actions. Describe your day. It works incredibly well.
Brilliant tip. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Alex. It was an amazing conversation.
And to our listeners, thank you for spending this time with us. Remember, the key to fluency starts with your thoughts. If you enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, and share. This is Global Dialogue Studio, and I'll see you in the next episode.